evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. Today we're going to be going over the Gladiator Beast deck profile, a deck that you guys have been highly wanting to see. This specific build is going to be specifically on summoning Gladiator Beast Geysers, disrupting the opponent's back row, and then just destroying whatever we see in our path. I really feel like this is the appropriate build and the better build because the other Gladiator Beasts just cannot keep up with how fast-paced this game is. But let's get down to the deck profile. Oh, actually, before I do, for here on out, don't message me asking about a deck list. I would never give one person a deck list. Either you would find it on my YouTube channel or I would just post it on Facebook like a picture. So let's get on to the deck profile. We're going to run 3 copies of Lucari, and I'll explain why I run 3 copies of Lucari later. 2 copies of Darius, 2 copies of Bequest, 2 copies of Bastari, 3 Test Tiger, and 2 Prisma. That's going to sum up the monsters at 14. For spells, 3 Proving Ground, 3 Onslaught, 3 Emergency Call, 3 Lance, and that's going to sum up the spells at about 12. For traps, 3 War Chariot, 3 Safe Zone, 3 Mirror Force, 2 Chains. Oops. I don't like that one. That one's kind of beat up. 2 Waboku, Icarus Attack, and Ring of Destruction. Now, let's talk about the deck in itself. As for the monster lineup, there's a huge difference between this deck and the deck that you guys see me playing on DevPro. Hint being that I don't run any other Gladiator Beast monsters that do not get me into Geysers. That's right, there's no Murmillo, there's no Rotari. I would love to use Secutor, but he's just a totally different story since he's just so hard to use. The biggest reason why I don't run those is, like I said, they don't get me into Geysers. All of these monsters play a key role into getting me into Geysers, thus destroying my opponent's cards and advancing game state. I'm sorry, Gladiator Beast Murmillo is just too slow. It requires me to protect an 800 body, and then opening it is just horrible, and then tagging out into it only gets me 1 monster destroyed. Rotari is amazing, but banishing 1 card, I'd rather just run DD Crows. The deck is really good at making Geysers and doing what it does. As you can see, there's 3 copies of Onslaught of the Fire Kings, and that's a big reason why I run 3 Lucaris. So the theory behind Onslaught of the Fire Kings is that it acts as a quote-unquote mini Cyber Dragon-like card. The opponent controls a monster, I don't control a monster, I activate Onslaught, I special summon Gladiator Beast Lucari, I can then follow it up with an Emergency Call or Gladiator's Proving Ground to somehow, some way get Bastari to the side of the field and then tag out to Gladiator Beast Geysers. If you guys weren't paying attention, E-Call searches Prisma, Prisma copies Geysers, sends Bastari, and then I can tag out into a Geysers and then destroy all cards on the field. I really prefer 3 copies of Forbidden Lance over Mystical Space Typhoon for a couple of reasons. First, Forbidden Lance is a lot more versatile in this deck, whereas if I'm battling my opponent and their monster just so happens to be stronger than mine, I'll damage that Forbidden Lance him. But most importantly, instead of asking for permission through Mystical Space Typhoon, just blindly hitting back row, I'd rather summon a Gladiator Beast Geysers, get it bottomless, and then chain the Forbidden Lance to the Geysers, thus protecting the Geysers and still being able to destroy 2 cards on the field. This deck is just so battle heavy. I thought Forbidden Lance was superior. The 3 Emergency Call and the 3 Proving Ground are obvious, and I know what you guys are going to say. I have 3 Onslaughts for 3 Lucaris and 3 Emergency Calls for 2 Prisma. This is a Gladiator Beast deck. All of your monsters should be cycling back into your deck. So your 3 Emergency Calls will always be live. Your 3 Onslaughts will always be live if you're playing the deck effectively. Next, for traps, 3 War Chariot I just feel is just so good. Coupled with 2 Fiendish Chains, that's just a lot of effect negation. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about is Waboku. Now, Waboku used to be a damn near staple in this deck. The opponent attacks into your monster, you Waboku, and you get a free tag. To be honest with you guys, I'm not really feeling Waboku. I'd probably drop it out for a 2nd copy in Icarus. I mean, maybe trap stuns to, you know, further stun the opponent in their traps. It's kind of like a cold wave thing that we have going on with trap stuns. Some of those one-ofs. It's really whatever you guys want to do. Waboku is definitely fallen out of favor with me, but I still run it in there just, you know, to let you guys know that Waboku is just a pretty decent card. One card that I do want to stress if I were to drop Waboku would probably be for Icarus Attack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 targets in the deck for Icarus Attack. Now, here's the theory behind Icarus Attack. I tag out into a Gladiator Beast Bastari, and let's say for some example, my opponent has that 1-of bottomless that they're just going to use. I can chain Icarus attack, tributing my Bastari, and then destroying 2 cards on my opponent's side of the field. This allows me, even though I do have multiple copies of Bastari now, to go into Bastari safely without it getting banished or, you know, just removed, and also provides an extra blanket of destruction. Let's say if I wanted to destroy 4 cards, I go into Icarus attack, my opponent activates a card to, you know, destroy my Geyserist, I chain Icarus attack. So now I get 4 destructions with the Geyserist. And while it does leave me a little monsterless, if it was on a Gladiator Beast Bastari, it's a plus. Any other time, I'm destroying multiple times to cards, or even with Gladiator Beast Quest, if my opponent were to try to negate the effect of me adding a War Chariot or a Gladiator Beast monster back to my hand, I chain Icarus attack. My monster's off the field, can't negate its effect, and then I get to destroy cards on the field. I really love this card. I'd probably consider running 2. That's pretty much it for the monster lineup. There's a couple of modifications that I felt that could be made on the trap side, depending on what you play. I feel like Mirror Force is just a really good card this format. Now on to the extra deck. Alright guys, for extra deck, I mean, it's pretty much mix and match, do whatever you want. I'm just really going to show you a basis of what you should be running. You should be running at least 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Geyserist. I really don't see a need for 3, but at least 2 copies. Neurocrius, I hope and pray that one day he'll be as great as we all wanted him to be. But right now, to be honest with you, you don't even have to use him. I have not ever played him whatsoever. 1 Esadari. For the people that are sideboarding, 2 copies of Kaiser Kalazim, I'd strongly recommend that you run 2. Reason being is that, let's say if you don't want your opponent to Pendulum Summon, Exceed Summon, Synchro Summon, whatever, after you battle with your Gladiator Beast monster and tagged out and gain its effect, i.e. Bastari or, you know, Equest or whatever, you use your Esadari face up on the field and your Gladiator Beast monster to make another Esadari, keeping 1 monster on the side of the field. 2 copies of Heraclinos. I've actually went double Herc before, and plus these look so nice at Ultimate Rare. As for Xyz, like I said, it's pretty much a whatever you want to run fest. Dark Rebellion, Gaga Cowboy, Honor Arc, Castell, Lightning Chidori, Karen Gorgon, Abyss Dweller, Accession Knight, and Stills from Roach. I feel that Stills from Roach is a really good card. It's definitely going to rise in popularity soon again. Free the Roach. Now, on to the deck combos. Alright fellas, the deck combos are fairly simple. And when I mean fairly simple, it's almost basic strategy. Let's say my opponent controls cards, including a monster, and I don't. The only thing I need is Onslaught of the Fire King, Emergency Call, Gladiator Beast Bastari, Gladiator's Proving. I need any combination of Onslaught and whatever else. So we're going to activate Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Onslaught of the Fire King is going to special summon Gladiator Beast Lucari, and I'm going to go into the standard combo. I'm going to activate Emergency Call to add Elemental Hero Prisma. We're going to summon the Elemental Hero Prisma, and from Elemental Hero Prisma, we're going to reveal Gladiator Beast Geyserist to send Bastari into our graveyard. From there, we'll tag out into the said Geyserist and then destroy cards on our opponent's side of the field. After we battle with Geyserist, we'll tag him back out to special summon back our Gladiator Beast Lucari and Gladiator Beast Darius. Darius effect will special summon Gladiator Beast Bastari, and then we will tag 1 more time into Gladiator Beast Heraclinos. Now the opponent is looking at a 3K beater, you have cards in your hand, and it's not going to be really nice. Heraclinos normally just cleans up the place, especially when you're going against decks like Shadow Hall, Clifford, etc. Another combo would be just the regular Prisma combo, Prisma Test Tiger. The only thing you need is some way to get Prisma, which you have quite a few ways, and then Test Tiger. You normal summon Prisma, Prisma effect, you'd show the Geyserist, obviously, and then you'd send Gladiator Beast Bastari to the graveyard. From there, you special summon Test Tiger, because you do have a Gladiator Beast monster on the field, and you will return Prisma to the deck to special summon, he would get tributed. To special summon Gladiator Beast Darius. Darius effect activates, which would in turn special summon Bastari back to the field. Its effect would activate it, but it's negated. Then we'll tag into Gladiator Beast Geyserist, destroying 2 cards on our opponent's side of the field. A couple other things that I want to stress is that there's a couple more combos that I'm not going to go through because they're just so remedial. You should pretty much get over it. Is that this is probably going to be your favorite card, especially if you've already used a War Chariot. Go into him early and often as soon as you get War Chariots in the graveyard and keep looping your War Chariot. Negating your opponent's effect monsters is key, which is the reason why I run 3 War Chariots and 2 copies of Fiendish Chain. Well, that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.